Kurt Angle, the Olympic gold medalist. What's up, guys? It's me, the AOLE XX Prince, talking once again about heroes of SummerSlam. This time we'll be talking about Kurt Angle himself, the Olympic hero, the man who did it with a broken freaking neck. Yes, Kurt Angle has basically some of the best SummerSlam matches out there. He did his first SummerSlam. He was in the main event, so that should tell you how good his resume is. So that itself is just a bonus. And he only lost once. One time. He only lost one time. And that is to properly... well, actually, now that I think about it, Kurt Angle could have been undefeated at SummerSlam, but because of his concussion at his first SummerSlam, that was a big issue. So, because SummerSlam 2000 was pretty good. He had a pretty decent matching with Rock, Triple H, and Kurt. The Triple H and Kurt Angle storyline was gold, and The Rock was kind of like just the champion there, so that was the only problem with the match. That's why when I rebooked SummerSlam 2000, I made basically Kurt Angle versus Triple H instead of Rock and Triple H and Kurt Angle, because Rock was sadly really, really irrelevant in this match. And the saddest part about this match was that Kurt Angle suffered a concussion. So Triple H is going to hit Kurt Angle with a pedigree on the table, but the table collapsed before that happened. And Kurt Angle fell since he was still on the pedigree hold. And he fell on his face and he got a concussion. So he was out for half of the match. He comes back later and Rock still wins anyway. So I feel bad for Kurt for that reason alone. But 2001, he redeemed himself being part of the co-main event between Stone Cold Steve Austin. So Kurt Angle and Stone Cold Steve Austin, this was a fucking masterpiece of a match. Honestly, one of the few good matches that ended in a DQ, and I was fine with, because it made both men look strong in a sense. Stone Cold was like beating the living shit out of Kurt Angle. Stone Cold... it's just being a badass that he is, and Kurt Angle, they kind of wanted to put him over, but they made it a DQ, and I was fine with it. This is part of the Invasion storyline angle, and honestly, this is one of the few good things that was good about the Invasion storyline angle, so kudos for that. So yeah, I really enjoyed this match. It was so much fun. Really, possibly his best match. It was just a brutal match to watch, to be honest. These guys just tore the house down. It was just that damn good. You gotta go back and watch it. But it's weird. He goes from co-main event to the opening of the show. Kurt Angle versus Rey Mysterio in SummerSlam 2002. This was a really good match. Little dream match of mine. It was only like 10 minutes long, and it starts strong with Rey Mysterio beating the crap out of Kurt Angle. Just basically just back and forth action. Good match, and Kurt Angle wins by making Rey Mysterio tap. So, Kurt Angle is just killing it. I mean, he did a good job in starting off 2002 SummerSlam. After all, everything from there goes freaking gold next. So, then 2003, he's back in the main event picture against Brock Lesnar, the rematch from SummerSlam 2003. From WrestleMania 19. Kurt Angle beats Brock Lesnar, and honestly, it made sense since Brock was the heel. They made you believe that Kurt Angle possibly wasn't gonna win, so that was great for that. Maybe it was gonna be one of those stories where Kurt couldn't beat Brock Lesnar ever, but he did eventually in this match. And honestly, this is a very underrated match, to say the least. It was a very underrated match, and honestly, the best part of SummerSlam 2003, but it was really good. I really, really enjoyed it. So, you should go back and watch that match as well. SummerSlam 2004. Yes, SummerSlam 2004. He basically had a rematch with Eddie Guerrero from WrestleMania 19. So, basically, rematch after rematch for Kurt Angle. WrestleMania rematches for Kurt. And the difference with these rematches, he actually goes over. So, Kurt Angle beats people he loses to at WrestleMania. That's pretty odd to say. So he beats Eddie Guerrero in a really good match. Not as great as their Mania 20 match. That one was still gold, but this one was not that bad either. Honestly, I feel like both men just had nothing to do, and they just put him there because they wanted to build Randy Orton up, and Chris Benoit was still world champion. So, you know. Oh wait, they're on Raw. What the fuck? What was the WWE picture? Oh, JBL and Taker. I mean, fuck. I mean, JBL. He's not a great wrestler, but he does have some okay matches here and there. Honestly, I would have just done JBL versus Kurt Angle at this point because I really didn't give a shit. Basically, two American guys, but you know, maybe a story of like who was like actually supporting this. You know, maybe they could pull off a little good story out of it. They eventually do have Kurt Angle and JBL later down the year, but that's besides the point. Let's see. SummerSlam 2005. He was actually in the worst match of SummerSlam 2005. He went from taking on Eddie Guerrero, Brock Lesnar, Rey Mysterio, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Triple H, and The Rock to motherfucking Eugene. Kurt Angle did his best to do a pretty solid match. Kurt Angle beats him. He wins his Olympic medal back. It was pretty funny. He stands on a chair. He gets his Olympic gold back. It was pretty funny. So that itself was pretty funny. As far as that, the match is pretty meh, to say the least. It was pretty fucking funny how you look at all these classic matches Kurt Angle had at SummerSlam to fucking Eugene. Easily his worst match, but as far as his best match, it'll probably easily go to Stone Cold Steve Austin, if not Brock Lesnar. But, you know, besides his first match, he basically won everything. We were going to see Kurt Angle fight Triple H this year, but I guess change of plans, which I feel bad for because Kurt Angle could have used another match. I mean, people were dying for another Kurt Angle match, and at SummerSlam, it would be good. Honestly, I feel like his streak would have been over if he were to win. If he were to come back to SummerSlam. Let's be honest. If Kurt Angle versus Triple H happened this year, Kurt Angle would have lost. I'm being honest with you guys. Kurt Angle would have easily lost that match just because of politics and stuff like that. So, there's that. But aside from that, Kurt Angle has a pretty good resume in SummerSlam history. Next up, let's talk about a guy who made a big name in SummerSlam history. And that would be the youngest world champion in history. Till then, I'm out. Subscribe.